Hey y'all, welcome back to another legend story and facts. So, we're doing the legend on werewolves. In the ancient Greek and Rome, they believed in werewolves strongly. And they believed they was deadly. Over 300 people was accused of being werewolves back then. In the country, Greece, in the Middle Europe, Asia, and all kinds of places, there was records of stories of the werewolves. People thought we could turn into animals, and they called it shape shifting. And that belief went back all the way back to the caveman, because they find pictures of it on the caves of half man, half stag, or half animal, if you like to say. The legend of the werewolf is strong in Greek, in the Romans. They strongly believe in the werewolves. And the full moon is strongly connected to the werewolf's transformation. There's something about the moon that brings out a person's madness. A lunar-kissed moon. So, somewhat magical. Some people think wearing the skins of the wolf, of the animal, makes you turn into the animal. And this was practiced by the Vikings. The Vikings did it. They wore, before battle, they put on a bear skin, and they believe that it turned them into the bear. It made them stronger and faster and fearless, and made their enemies fear them. So that's where people believe they just put on the skin and they become that animal. That's one of the beliefs on how they become a werewolves. Okay, as the legend spread, other countries, everybody was making up their own beliefs and their own version of the werewolf, or how they were turned, or anything. The Scambrian, I can never say that word right. I'll put it up here. They believed they would become a werewolf by drinking from water from the footprint of a wolf. So if you're out in the woods and you're just minding your own business, and you see somebody bend over drinking water out of a footprint of a wolf, just don't mind them. Just walk on. It's none of your business. Or you better get out of there. They're either insane or they're fit to become a werewolf. Okay, and then in the Danish, only their man can become werewolves. Not fair. In Russia, people believe that if a witch places her garnet under a house of somebody who's getting married on their wedding day, and anybody celebrating that wedding goes over it into the house, will turn into wolves. So hopefully that don't happen. There's a lot of ways of becoming a werewolf. A werewolf. So hopefully you don't get cursed by an evil witch, because that's not by your choice. And I do a lot of research, and I was watching that the movies made up the holy grail of getting bit by a werewolf. Yep. Like always, Hollywood always twists the legends and always twists everything, the paranormal, the legends and stuff. So the person who made the first werewolf movies made that one up, of getting bit by a werewolf or turning you into a werewolf. They made that up. And then they made up the silver bullet. So who knows if a silver bullet will save you from a werewolf? Because Hollywood, the author, the people made that up too. So all you can do is try. Because Hollywood the people made up the silver bullet. If you come upon a werewolf, all you can do is practice. All you can do is experience how to get rid of a werewolf. And your best bet, stay away from the werewolf. Until you know how to get rid of it if it's coming after you. Like back to the Vikings of other people wearing the skins of other animals to turn into animals. Like there's other kinds of were animals in different countries and stuff. And there's one, I don't know, I accepted some of these, but there's one I could not accept, and it just made me laugh. Okay, in Lapland, that's how I'm reading it, Lapland. There is a reindeer, and I accepted that one. In I'll read that one loud. In Japan, there's a wildcat. I accepted that one, but this one I could not accept. In South America, there is a possum. But whale possum. I guess I just can't accept that. That's just a little Where possum running around? And then if this goes on, the one version of the one of the legend of wearing the skin turns you into the animal you choose. I'm thinking, why would you want to wear a possum skin and turn into a possum and become a whale possum? You could become any animal. Wear an animal and you choose a possum? I'm sorry. Okay, back to... Oh, I can't accept it. A whale possum. Okay. In the 16th and 17th century, in Europe, there was a hot spot of werewolves activity, and this was at the height of witchcraft. When the burning started, this is what the struggle when that was happening. Right up at that age of the witchcraft and the witch series, the Salem series, and all that. But then we have the struggle of the werewolves too, and all that was happening side by side. Sorry, my chin's into. I think with this, I'm going to have to do a separate stories on the witchcraft, the legend of witches, and all that. But I will tell you this, that it's crazy how if you was different and all this, if you didn't believe I'm not going to just go into, if you didn't believe a certain thing, you was just out and out. If you was a witch, if you was a werewolf, if you was a Jew, and if you didn't believe in this certain thing in religious, let's just say religious, and y'all might know what I'm saying, I'm just going to say religious, and or if you was a little different, you didn't fall by their rules or anything, you was done for. They burned you at the stake. Your life was over. You went to trial. It was crazy. Okay, back to the werewolf. They said it was easy to identify werewolves. And so, if their eyebrows connected and they was really bushy, that was one way. And if they had hairy palms and hands, that just make up. And which they could have shaved them. Which some people have hairy. Some people have the unibrow we call a day, which they have to shave them in hairy palms sometimes. So, and here's one, which is crazy because most people if you lived alone, off by yourself, isolated by people, you would, which most people would prefer living by themselves. would be a sign of being a werewolf, which I'm offended because we would like to be off. We don't like a lot of neighbors around. If we could choose, we would like to be off away from people, no neighbors too close. So we would be called werewolves. And then if you was acting different, strangely, a little aggressive, you be outed for being a werewolf. A lot accused of being brought in between the 1520s and the 1630s. And there was over 3,000 people just in France that was put on trial for being accused of being a werewolf. That's a lot. And then later on, doctors decided this is an illness. It's a disease, a psychological disease. And the treatment, which seemed as bad as being attacked by a werewolf itself, was to open up a vein and letting the blood drain out. That treatment was just cruel. Some of them didn't think they was crazy. They just thought they might have been on drugs. That was their problems. And then they thought, then some of them was thinking they was hallucinations, that it was from a fungus that during the winter got into the rye bread, got into the rye, and they ate it, and it caused all these hallucinations and caused them to go crazy and attack people and act like this. And then other was getting in the mushroom. They got into the mushrooms. They found some mushrooms and they thought they was edible. Well, they was edible, but they wasn't the good edible ones. And they made them hallucinate and go crazy and attack people. So that's it. What do y'all think about werewolves? Do y'all believe in the legend of werewolves? Do y'all think it's all in our heads? Do you think people just have a disease? Or do you think they're real? I think they could be real. You never know. You never know. I believe in the unknown. I believe in the legends, because you don't know what's out there in the world. Like, so what do y'all think? What are y'all thoughts on werewolves? Do y'all think, was it the mushrooms? Was it the fungus? Some people think it was, I'll add this, some people think it was something to do with Satan, but they think everything has to be dealt with Satan. Who knows? I think we'll never know. There's just stuff out there that's always going to be a mystery to us. And just, we'll never know the truth about everything. And that's okay. So, into next legend stories and facts. Bye, y'all. Have a wonderful day. Happy spooky season.